Hello everyone, welcome back to BistroBuzz TV. Today we're going to be making a banana dream cake. And this is going to be very, very yummy. It's very, very easy, so let's get started. Here are the ingredients that you're going to need. We're going to need vanilla, and you can see here I've got two different kinds. This is the new one that I have, and I've got just a little bit of the pure vanilla extract that I want to use, and then we will use the other vanilla extract. We're going to be needing the vanilla. We're also going to be needing one little carton of the Chobani Greek yogurt. This is one of the small little cartons here. It is the 5.3 ounces, so it's a small carton. Then we're going to need one banana cream jello. We're going to be needing some eggs, and we're also going to be needing the yellow cake mix. And of course, we're going to be needing some butter. So those are the only ingredients that we're going to be needing. We are going to be using Cool Whip in the end to put on the top of the cake. But for right now, this is what we're needing to start the baking process. So let's get started. The first thing I'm doing is I'm getting the largest mixing bowl that I have. You can see here, this is a large glass bowl. I'm going to go ahead and put the cake mix into it first. Okay, I've added the cake mix, and again, this time I'm using the Betty Crocker Favorites. This is a super moist cake mix, and it's yellow. You can also use the white cake mix also, that will work as well, but this time I'm going to use the yellow cake mix. So next, I am going to add the butter, and I'm going to be using 1/2 stick of butter. So that is approximately like the 8 tablespoons of butter. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. You can see that I've added the butter. So what I'm going to do is I did not melt the butter. I'm just going to blend it very, very easily into the cake mix. And then we're going to add 1 egg to this. If you do not add the yogurt, you can add 2 to 3 eggs to this. But what I like to do is I like to add the yogurt because it gives it more of a banana taste, and I love that Chobani banana and cream yogurt. So I'm going to go ahead and mix the butter, and then we're going to be adding 1 egg. So I've added the 1 egg, and also want to add that before you add the egg, just make sure you break the butter down pretty well, because if you don't, it's very hard to continue to get the butter to where it doesn't have so many large pieces into the batter. So just go ahead and mix that butter up really, really well, and then you want to add your egg, and you'll see here that it is going to be kind of thick, and it will be kind of thick until you add the yogurt. So I'm just going to continue to mix this, and then I will be adding the yogurt. You want to keep mixing the cake mix and the butter and the egg until you get about the consistency you can see here. It's going to be very, very thick. But once you add the yogurt, it's not going to be as thick. So you want to get the consistency about like you see here. Like I said, it's going to be very, very thick. But once we add the yogurt, it's not going to be as thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start adding the yogurt, and we will be right back. I do need to add one thing. I use all of the yogurt container with the exception of about 2 tablespoons because this yogurt smells so good and it is so yummy that I like to leave about 2 tablespoons that I can just have as a treat as I'm mixing the batter here. So if you would like to do that, that is good. I've just found that about 2 tablespoons to leave as a treat for myself while I'm mixing this, and add the remainder of the yogurt to the batter. It works out really, really well. So I'm going to continue to mix this up, and we will be right back. I have now added 1 tablespoon of the vanilla, and I am using this time the Simple Truth vanilla extract. This is so, so yummy. And once you add this to the batter, it really starts smelling really, really good. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up real quickly, and we will be right back. While you're mixing this up, go ahead and start your oven. Place it on bake for 350, and you can go ahead and preheat the oven, and it'll be ready as soon as we get the batter prepared, and we can place it in the oven for 30 to 45 minutes. But let's go ahead and continue mixing this, and we'll be right back. To make this a little bit more fun, what I'm going to do is make little cupcakes. And I got these little cupcake holders. Aren't these so cute? I love these. I'm going to make it a little bit more fun by making little cupcakes. And I'm going to spoon the batter into these little cupcake holders. And then we're going to bake on 350 for, we're going to start with 30 minutes and then we're going to check them, and then it may go to 45, but usually it's 30 to 45 minutes, but we're going to check them after 30 minutes and then we will be right back. Here are the baking cups filled with the batter. There is about 2 tablespoons of batter for each of the baking cups. And then what I did was I wet my fingertips just a little bit. I pressed down on the batter, and we are going to place these in the oven on 350 for 30 to 40 minutes. I'm going to check them after 30 minutes, and then we may have to place them back in the oven for about 10 minutes, but usually it's about 30 to 40 minutes. And then what we're going to do is we are going to take our banana cream jello. We're going to mix 1 cup of water to the banana cream jello. We're going to mix that up, and then we're going to drizzle over every one of these cupcakes. It's going to be so yummy. So let's get started with the baking. 350 for 30 to 40 minutes. We will be back. Everyone, these have been in the oven for 30 minutes. What I'm going to do is turn the oven off. I'm going to close the oven door and just let them cook a little bit longer. And while we're waiting for them to cool off a little bit, we're going to go ahead and make the banana cream to go on this. So let's get started. I have one of the smaller medium-sized bowls here, and I've got the banana cream jello. I'm going to place the banana cream jello into the bowl, and I'm going to add 1 cup of hot water. So I'm going to go ahead and heat the water, and then we're going to mix that with the banana cream jello, and we will be right back. Quick way to get the boiling water is I take and fill this to 1 cup. I place this into the microwave for 2 minutes, and the water is boiling. So that makes it a lot easier than placing it on the stovetop. So now I've placed the boiling water into the medium-sized bowl here, and now I'm going to add the banana cream jello, and I'm going to mix it really, really well. And we'll be right back. So I've added the jello into the mixing bowl, and I'm going to mix it up really, really well. And we want to get this to the consistency that we can drizzle it over the cupcakes that we have made. So we will just go ahead. I'm going to mix this really, really well, and we will be right back. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make little holes in the top of our cupcakes here, and I'm going to put just enough of the drizzle of the banana cream into the cupcakes. So not very much. It's not going to be very much. It's going to be a little bit, and you will have some of the banana cream jello left over. So if you want to add additional water to it and make the traditional jello with it, you can. Or what you can do is save it, and then when you serve it, you can drizzle it over the cupcake on your plate. And that way, if you get any that runs over or whatever, it's okay. But while we're doing them here, we're just going to drizzle a little bit on it just to have enough of the flavoring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to place a few holes in each of these cupcakes, and then I'm going to drizzle the banana cream jello over it, and then what we'll do is place these into the refrigerator, and we'll get them cooled off, and then we can serve them. So I'm going to go ahead and put the drizzle on top of it really, really quick, and we'll be right back. Some of you may be wondering, how do you do this? Because the consistency of this, you see how the consistency of this is a little thick. I mean, it's not very thick, but it is a little thicker than normal jello. So what I'm going to do is show you how I do this. I take the fork, I use this with a fork, I don't do it with a spoon, and I take the fork and I turn it like this to where I don't have any that is falling from the fork, and then I place it on top of the cupcake, and then I just keep taking the fork and I try to place the banana cream filling inside of the cupcake. And what I do is I do it for every one of them, and then I come back and then I'll place a little bit more into it. So I'm going to do this for every one of these, and then I'll come back and place a little bit more into it. Because when I come back, this part of it is going to go ahead and it will dissolve inside of the cupcake. So what I'm going to do is do this for every one of them. Then I'm going to come back and redo this a second time, and then we will be ready to place these into the refrigerator to cool off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back when I finish going back around the second time and placing some more of the banana cream inside of the cupcake. Let me show you a trick on the second round. Okay, we have gone ahead and placed one little scoop of the banana cream jello on each of these, and we used a fork. The reason we use a fork is because we want to place the jello inside of the cupcake, and we don't want to use a spoon because a spoon places it in one place only, and I want it distributed throughout the cupcake. But the second time now we're going to be doing this, you can use a spoon. So let me show you how I do this. I take the spoon, and just a teaspoon, not a tablespoon, and I get this and I take it and I press it down into the cupcake like this. So you've already got the first scoop of this with the fork, which is distributed all over the cupcake. So now we're just going to place it on the very, very top of the cupcake. And I get a generous serving of the teaspoon, so don't be afraid. You're going to have enough to use for every one of them. So I get enough to, it's generously poured on the top. So I'm going to continue doing this, and you can see here, it just makes a really nice covering on the top of the cupcake. And you can place it all over the cupcake on the third round if you want to. But right now, what I want to do is I want to place enough that it gets inside of the cupcake and it covers up what we did with the fork. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this until we finish up all of the cupcakes, and I will be right back. On the final round of this, what you can do is take the leftover and just place it all over the cupcake, because what's going to happen is when you put it into the refrigerator, it's going to harden on top. So I just get a little bit, and then I just go over the entire top of the cupcake like this. And it makes for a nice little icing. Now, for those of us that don't really like a sugar-coated icing, because I don't really like the sugar or the frostings because it's just too sweet, what I do is, this is a good alternative to that. You can take the kind of jello that you like and just mix like 1 cup of water with it and place it onto your cupcakes or your cake like this. And it just makes a really nice sweetness, but it isn't like a cake frosting to where it's so sweet that it's just too sweet. So this is what I do. It just makes it a little bit easier for people who really don't like a lot of sugar, but they like a little something on top of their cupcakes. This is one of the alternatives that you can do. So I'm going to finish up these, and then what I'm going to do is place them in the refrigerator, get them a little bit cool, and what that does is it hardens the jello topping. And then if you want to, you can place it in the microwave for 10 seconds only, because if you put it in the microwave for longer than 10 seconds, the jello on top will start melting. But if that's what you like, then that's fine. But I'm going to place these into the refrigerator, let the jello on top harden just a little bit, and then you'll have your cupcakes. So there we go. This is our banana cream cupcakes. I'm calling this Banana Dream because it smells so dreamy and they are so good. Well, thanks everyone for visiting BistroBuzz TV. Come back to visit us again soon, and please like and subscribe, and we will be back very soon. Thanks everyone.